So how much of the Thursday night game did you watch last night? I'm assuming all of it.
That would be correct. Yes, sir.
It's good because I didn't watch all of it, but I watched a lot of
Oh,
the good parts.
yeah, you did. That was a crazy game. Davis Mills mania, baby.
Yeah, I think we need to start a dialogue about Josh Allen, perhaps.
Then we need to start a dialogue about the Texans, perhaps. Actually,
That defense is surely something to be messed with, but we got a lot to talk about today, so let's jump into it.
Welcome to the greatest podcast on earth. Nothing agreed. We have a great show for you tonight, so stay tuned and buckle up.
hola, hola, hola. Bienvenido a Nothing Agreed. E. Brooks Thomas and E. Baron Burns. Baron, ¿cómo estás?
No habla español.
Oh, how you doing, my man? I said welcome to Nothing Agreed. I'm Brooks Thompson and Baron Burns. Baron, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing well. Was that better than my last intro? You didn't like the last intro, so I decided to go to Spanish this time.
It's something.
There we go. But welcome back to another episode. Nothing Agreed. Friday, we're getting rolling into week freaking 12, man. Week 12.
Mm-hmm.
We are really into the crux of the NFL season. But first, I think we got to talk about the real crux. Thursday Night Football. A lot happened. 5.5-point dogs. Davis, Millie Rock Mills steps in NRG Stadium and not only beats the Bills, but takes the Texans above 500. They now sit at 6-5. You tune in for the good parts. Yeah, there was a lot of good parts of that game, man.
Yeah, the last 2 minutes of the first half, that was exciting. The punt return or kick return, and then the last minute drive by the Texans, and then the final drive, right? Two back-to-back sacks for the Texans to give them fourth and 34, something like that. A little hook and ladder play, picked it up, all for an interception just to lose the game. Josh Allen had a career high 8 sacks against him. Offensive line play was not great. We mentioned it at the beginning, but the Texans defense is elite, easily top 3 in the league. I'd probably argue the best. But yeah, and they played like it last night. Held Josh Allen to 253 yards, 2 interceptions, and a QBR of 26.1.
Yeah, it was a bad day for the Mr. Steinfeld man.
Yeah. So if we're gonna keep it on the Bills here for now, I'd say, yeah. I mean, it just goes back to it. It's a great team when they play in Buffalo, but you look at their road losses this year: one to Atlanta, one to Miami, and now one to Houston, where they were 5.5-point favorites.
They were.
Yeah. So this doesn't look great. It's not really any fix I think you could see happening this season. I personally think the Bills are not going to win a playoff game this year, from what I've seen so far. I mean, because most likely their first game's going to be on the roads. It's also most likely going to be against the Ravens. And, yeah, I don't like that game in Baltimore for the Bills. So, but we'll wait and see how that plays out. Thinking more long term, I feel like you can't just keep ignoring it. You need a reliable third down, maybe even possibly fourth down guy that Josh Allen could just go to. I feel like that's been the biggest thing the Bills have missed, at least offensively, since Stephon Diggs left. They don't have that. All right, we need this big play. We need this. We need to pick up this play. We need someone to come through. They don't have that anymore. It's just Josh Allen's got to find the open guy. And we saw it last night. I mean, receivers drop balls. Khalil Shakir, I'm saying that wrong. I apologize. Khalil Shakir, sorry. He had a fumble that was like late in the game or early in the third quarter, but took them out of the red zone and gave the ball back to the Texans. So, yeah, I just feel like they need another reliable guy for Josh Allen to go to besides like James Cook on a check down. And their defense needs to get better.
Yeah, that was supposed to be Keon Coleman, but he was a healthy scratch once again. Honestly, at this point, is he going to play at all this season? I mean, damn. Like, damn. So, and they took him over a couple of good guys, especially in the receiving core. I mean, he was right before Ladd McConkey, and Ladd McConkey would be a beast with Josh Allen. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
this is
kind of wish they were a little more aggressive in the trade deadline, going after a
I
receiver.
agree. Well, they did. They were aggressive at the trade deadline.
Yeah, but they
Remember,
weren't
they went
willing
for
to like.
Jalen Waddle
I
for a
would have.
first round pick.
Oh, I didn't see that.
To me, that's aggressive.
That is
And the
very
Dolphins
aggressive.
declined it because they wanted a 2026 first rounder instead of a 2027 first rounder, which, first of all, I thought that was crazy.
That's
Second of all,
crazy.
that's just how it was. So they were aggressive, and they tried to get a first round pick for a wide receiver. So I think they were aggressive. I just think they went a little too big, like go big or go home. Um, that to me, again, I was vying. Jacoby Myers was there, fourth rounder. I think that would have been a good receiver with Josh Allen. To me, he is a perfect low end wide receiver, like one, or high end wide receiver two. Um, and he's exactly what they need. He's a tall, kind of a taller, lankier wide receiver, not a slot killer. And it feels like all their guys are really slot killers. I mean, Khalil Shakir is their best guy. He lines up in the slot, so gets someone on the outside. And Jaguars went ahead and pulled the trigger. Looks pretty good with the Jaguars so far. I won't lie. In the 2 games he's played.
Yeah, that's fair. I personally kind of wanted to see Chris Olave maybe make his way over to Buffalo. I think that's a kind of route running sort of one-on-one guy that could just be a reliable with the balls. We need to get this certain amount of yards. The ball's coming your way. So we'll see what they do in the offseason. Obviously, that defense has holes to fix as well. We'll see if the coaching staff stays around. But yeah, 7-4, second in their division. I don't see a lot of postseason success from this team. Now, we want to take it to the Texans real quick. Like we've said, that defense is amazing. Not much to say about there. Offensively, did Nico Collins come back, or is he out for extended
He's
periods
back.
of time? Okay, that's good. So they need him. The running game was decent. I'm not going to say it was anything crazy. We know how their offensive line is. I think the real question coming out of the Texans offense from yesterday's game is there a quarterback controversy?
No, I don't think so. It's still CJ in my opinion. I'm a still CJ guy. But Davis Mills has done exactly what he's paid for. Top end backup quarterback. I think he gets paid about $5 or $6 million a year to be the backup there, and he's doing exactly what he's getting paid for. So coming in when CJ's injured and putting up good performances, or at least as a backup quarterback, performances that don't make you want to rip your hair out. He played really well yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he was, in my opinion, when the Texans got the number 2 pick, because Davis Mills won that game against Indianapolis. To me, I was still I understand they take a quarterback, but Davis Mills is not horrible. Like, he can still be a quarterback that can be used at another team. Still stays, gets it done. So it really worked out for the Texans, man.
Yeah, I agree with most of that. Although I will say I think it gets kind of scary for CJ Stroud if he comes back and underperforms compared to Davis Mills, because then people are going to want to change. That's just how the NFL works. So praying that he can come back better and that he can play better. Yeah, other than that, not much to really speak about this game. Obviously, Texans
defense, man.
yeah,
That
out of
pass
this
rush.
world. They're still trying to keep up with the Colts in their division. And honestly, I think the Texans probably have a better chance to overtake the Colts than I think the Buffalo Bills do to overtake the Patriots.
Yeah, man. I mean, I am a firm believer that the Colts are an overrated team. I will always be preaching that.
Yep.
But with their schedule, I got the Colts, man. I mean, their schedule is a cakewalk.
Again, I think both the Patriots and Colts will win their division, but
at this point, I have to lean to the Patriots now winning that division. So,
but exactly, I think out of these two teams, though, I think the Texans have a better chance at winning their division than the Bills. I'm out on the Bills this year. I don't think they're doing anything. You have to win important games on the road. You can't just get away by winning at home, and if you're not the 1 seed, like the way it stands right now, the Bills will not play a playoff game in Orchard Park. They will not play there. And if that's the case, look at their away game statistically, it's going to be bad for them, especially if they're playing the Ravens, who are back to full strength at that point.
Texans defense, man. They put up 14 points in my 2 fantasy leagues, too. So I needed that.
That's huge.
So good for me.
Let's jump into our Sunday coverage. And yeah, we'll start off probably with one of the better games of the week, and that would be the Colts traveling to Arrowhead where the Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites over the best team in the NFL.
We're going to open it up immediately to Colts Chiefs.
Yep.
Let's do it then.
Why is there not? Is there a other game I missed?
No. It was just kind of right off the bat, big
Well,
game.
that was the
1
first one
o'clock.
on my list. So
What app do you use, by the way? I never talked about this.
ESPN.
ESPN. Okay. The website's actually different for that, to be honest. But
Yeah, I just use that.
the first game they have listed for me is Steelers Bears on the ESPN.com. So
that's the second one. So we'll
wow,
get there.
First game listed right there: Chiefs, Colts. And I am taking the Kansas City Chiefs to win this football game, and I'm taking them to cover as well. First of all, Arrowhead for me is still one of the hardest places to play, and it looks like they're having the same conundrum as the Bills are this season, where on the road, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs look awful, but at home they look like the kind of behemoth that they always have been in football. And this to me is going to continue to play. I think whenever the Colts face a good team, especially with a winning record, they struggle, and that's usually how it goes. And this, although this isn't a winning football team, it's 500. This to me is still the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Spagnuolo in Arrowhead. I like Patrick Mahomes to go for 3 touchdowns this game.
All right.
And I'm going to take the Chiefs win this game 27-21.
Okay. So the way this game goes for me is one key matchup I really want to pay attention on, and that's Rashee Rice versus Sauce Gardner. Because Sauce Gardner, at least I don't know if they move him around, like just put him on the best receiver and have him follow. I mean, he's at that level, so I would, but they might just be doing side and side as he's getting used to the defense and whatever. But mainly just Sauce Gardner. If he can keep those Chiefs receivers from making those big explosive splash plays, then I think the Colts can win this game. I don't think you keep Jonathan Taylor in that run game down for long. We know this Chiefs defense is good. They're definitely going to probably sell out to stop the run. So, yeah, it's really going to come down to also Daniel Jones. What can he do in the short game and medium games at times? Because that's probably what they're going to make them do is sell out for the throw. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting game on both aspects. I'd probably have to also lean towards the Chiefs. Just when you look at it, I think I trust Patrick Mahomes more than I trust Daniel. Yeah, I think I trust him more than I trust Daniel Jones to get it done in the big moments. But that Colts defense is not something to be trifled with, and Jonathan Taylor's in the MVP conversations for a reason. So I don't think they're going to keep him. Like I said, I don't think they'll keep him down all game. I think he's going to break off some sort of nice run at some point. And yeah, it's really just going to come down to can the Chiefs offense kind of keep up with how well their defense is playing.
Also, for me as well, something just interesting is Daniel Jones limited participant in practice with a calf injury. Ooh. So that'll be something to watch out for because, biggest thing for a quarterback is that footwork, get the feet set and have that strength in the legs. So calf injury makes me a little scared about Daniel Jones, baby.
That's fair concern to have. So we'll see how that one turns out. Moving on to your first game, and that is the Bears and the Steelers in Chicago, where the Bears are 2.5-point favorites.
And man, I thought I would never say this, but I like the Bears to be 8-3, man. I really do. I like the Bears to get the job done. My biggest concern for Chicago is how is TJ Watt going to play? Because the Steelers' defense has really kind of revitalized themselves, not to be dog, but to be a little bit better. And TJ's been a part of that kind of entourage that has led them to become better in the last couple of weeks. I like how the Bears are doing it. I like how Ben Johnson's running that team. I like how Caleb Williams is playing this season. Mm-hmm. The Bears did not have their best game against the Vikings, but what the Bears have consistently done week in and week out. Talk about the Vikings game. We can talk about the Bengals game. We can talk about the Giants game. We can talk about the Commanders game, the Raiders game. They just find ways to win close games. The devil magic has landed in Soldier Field, and it is taking over because they just find their ways to win 3 points or less. I'm going to take the Bears. The spread is 2.5. I'm not going to touch that spread, but I'm going to take the Bears to win this one.
I'm also taking the Bears. I like them at home, and that defense is also sneakily very good. They're not great in the run, but that's also not where Pittsburgh excels. Did you know that the 3 of the top 5 interception leaders are all Chicago Bears?
I did know that, and they have the number one as well.
Yeah.
So
So, Aaron Rodgers, that passing game has been very sketchy to me this season. DK Metcalf has not been lived up to what they at least wanted. I would have kept George Pickens. He's clearly having the better year. But, I'm not sold on the Steelers team as a whole. That defense has been looking better over recent weeks, but I just can't ignore how pathetic it was the first couple to the start of the season. And you're right, if TJ Watt's not in there, then how good is it going to be without its engine, basically? I agree. Bears get off to slow starts a lot in these games, have to come and play from behind. But like you said, they find ways to win, and that's just what good teams do. So I'm also going to take the Bears.
also, biggest thing for me is Aaron Rodgers still has that wrist injury. So
yeah, I don't have any faith in Mason Rudolph. He beat the Bengals defense
I
last
think
week.
isn't Aaron Rodgers? So I saw something he might be playing actually.
Well, he better because Mason Rudolph sucks. He beat the Bengals defense last week. That takes us to the next game, which we're not going to talk about for long. Patriots Bengals. This will be Drake May's MVP game. 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. Yeah, that's all you guys said.
Give me the over's 51.5. I was gonna say give me the over, but it's a lot of points you got to put up, man.
Drake May will do it by himself.
This to me is the biggest. You know, this is the biggest game for T. Higgins. This is one of the biggest games for T. Higgins. Remember,
no Jamar Chase,
franchise tag, no Jamar Chase. He can prove himself as a wide receiver one and get some big money if he plays well, especially with Joe Flacco throwing the football. Not saying Joe Flacco's trash, but it's Joe Flacco, right? So, give me the not the Bengals. Give me the Patriots. T. Higgins needs to have a game for himself to prove himself.
Fair
There you
enough.
go.
Well, this next one won't take long either. That is the Jets going to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Tyrod Taylor is starting in place of Justin Fields. We're going to move on.
One of 2 spreads that are double digits. And honestly, I like the Ravens to cover that spread of 13.5. So I'm going to take the Ravens. Part of me likes the under of 44.5 as well. I don't think the Jets are going to put up many points.
I don't think they put up any points.
But yeah, we'll see what happens.
But we'll see. Look, another game that we're not going to spend a lot of time on.
Giants Lions.
Well, that one's coming later, but Seahawks and Titans.
Oh, wait, no, there's 3 games, my apologies, with double-digit spreads. Seahawks, Titans. I like the Titans to cover in this one of the 13.5, actually.
Okay.
But give me Seattle to win. Biggest thing I want to talk about, it's actually not about the game, but it's about Cam Ward. Just in general. I think although the Titans are 1-9, they haven't won a game at home. Still screw them for their 1 wins against my survivor picks. That's how I lost this year.
Yep.
And I think Cam Ward has still shown me that he is hot take. Even with Jackson Dart here, Cam Ward is still neck and neck with him as one of the best quarterbacks in this class. I mean, some of the throws he has made with the football is crazy. And then you want to talk about the pass protection he gets. My Lord, he's dead in a 2.5. So the fact he maneuvers around this, still gets the ball off to, by the way, a receiving core, which is not good. Okay. Offensive line, that is not good. A running back tandem, which is probably bottom 15 in the NFL. You're talking, it's not horrible, but Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard?
Yeah, it's not good at all.
Yeah, it's not great. So give me the Seahawks, but Cam Ward has really shown this year to me, especially as a rookie, that the Titans have someone to keep and they need to re-sign him.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. Jackson Dart has a better team around him. He actually has a good defense. Cam Ward does not. And I think the other
news as well is Aaron Rodgers is questionable. Just got that notification. He's questionable.
And the other thing about Cam Ward is he'd probably be getting a lot more love. He just doesn't having that rushing upside that Jackson Dart's been displaying. I mean, that's how he was killing the Eagles. That's how he killed the Broncos. What was that other team? That's how he was killing not the Chiefs. Who was that one team he played that they almost beat?
Who, Cam Ward?
Yeah, no, Jackson Dart.
Oh, the Bears?
Might have been the Bears. Yeah, he just killed those teams with his legs. That's something Cam Ward if he has the ability, he hasn't really shown it as much. But I think if he was a little more dynamic there, then he would be getting more
Yeah,
love.
he was beating the Bears until he got injured, and then Russell Wilson came into the game. So,
All right. Well, we'll just do Giants Lions while we're on this stinker streak real quick.
get
Lions
out
at
the way.
home, 12.5-point favorites. Get back game after they got embarrassed last week. And Russell Wilson will be starting for the Giants.
The Lions have lost 4 games this season, 3 of them coming on the road to the Packers in Lambeau, the Chiefs in Arrowhead, and the Eagles at Lincoln Financial. Some of the hardest places to play in the NFL. But if you look at their home record, they beat the Bears 52-21. They beat up on the Browns. They beat up on the Bucks. They beat up almost every team except for the Vikings that have come there, and they're going to continue that streak. Giants level 1 road game. Give me the Lions. Give me not only a get back game, but a dominant get back game.
I will be interested to see though. That Philadelphia Eagles defensive line had Jared Goff in hell last week, so I am curious to see how they respond for this Giants defensive line because
agreed,
that's a much tougher animal in my opinion, and that's coming from me. So, but our last 1:00 game actually might be a good one. And that is the Vikings and the Packers. I think it's just safe to say whoever the Packers play this week year is going to be a good game because they just play to that level. So it's going to be a good game.
Yeah. This one I'm pretty sure is at Lambeau as well.
It is.
And I'm gonna take the Packers to win this football game.
I think I do as well.
They just find ways to win, even though their wins aren't convincing. And Lambeau's still a tough place to play. Give me the Packers.
And despite his one good game against the Lions, I am back on the J.J. McCarthy sucks train. So, yeah, 9 is not it. And, yeah, I think Jordan Love's going to get I think the Packers' defensive line is going to have something for him, and it's not going to be fun. But moving on to our 4:00 games, Jaguars-Cardinals.
Jags are only 3-point favorites,
which
makes me question this game. Really? Jags only has 3-point favorites in Arizona against a struggling Cardinals team since week 2 has 1 win. Yeah, I'm still going to take – I think I like the Jags still. I think it's one of those games where it looks like a trap, but it's not. I'm going to take the Jags.
Yeah, I don't know. That Cardinals defense has been playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to go with the Jaguars. The Jaguars defense has not been getting enough national coverage. I feel like that is a top 5 defensive unit in this league, and I mean I feel like it's the only reason they're in their playoff hunt, I guess, whatever you want to call it right now. But because Trevor Lawrence has been so inconsistent again this season, but I don't know, man. I think this is going to be I would slam this under if I was a betting man. I would slam this under, because this is going to be a defensive battle. But yeah, I think the Jaguars win this one.
Yeah.
But we'll move on.
Tickets as low as $16. Cheapest ones this week.
Wow. This is shit versus ass. We got Browns and Raiders. Shadur Sanders versus Geno Smith.
Whoa. You know, I myself am not a Shadur stan. I'm not a lover of Shadur's game. And although he had a bad cameo last week, remember, we've seen Geno be bad for the entire season. Yeah. We've seen Shadur be bad for 16 pass attempts.
It's fair.
So this is like shit versus colons where like it's building in the colon, you know?
Yeah, but if he was this generational player, someone would have drafted him before the 7th round or whatever he got taken.
He's not a generational player.
Exactly. So. He's not going to be any good. Will he be better than Dylan Gabriel? We'll wait to find out.
Yeah.
But in Las Vegas, if I'm the Raiders, I don't know why you haven't started Kenny Pickett yet. Like, I'm being 1,000% serious. Like, Geno Smith has nothing left. Kenny Pickett, I mean, technically won a Super Bowl, but like he's shown that when you put things around him, he can produce. So I don't know. For Brock Bowers' sake and for Ashton Genty's sake, I don't know. I'd throw Kenny Pickett in there. But Browns win this game. They have a very good defensive line. That's like the only good thing they have besides Quinshon Judkins. And the Raiders have probably the worst offensive line in the league. So I don't think Geno Smith gets a throw off. He's going to get hit in every drop back. I don't think you would see him line up under center. It'll be exclusively shotgun and pistol. And yeah, anything you want to add?
I mean, it's just I I like the Browns in this game.
Yeah, they're gonna win.
Yeah.
So, moving right along, Falcons and Saints. Go for it.
I like the Saints in this game.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Yeah, Falcons are terrible. Coaching issues all across the board.
The only
Not all
reason the
across the
Falcons win this
board.
game is a big game from Bijan Robinson. But other than that, no Drake London, Kirk Cousins at quarterback, coaching malpractice all around. I like the
Yeah.
Saints in this game. And also, I did say, even at the start of the season, even when I thought we would actually be a contending playoff team, not a contending for the Super Bowl, but contending for the playoffs, I always said one of the games we're going to lose, and it's going to be our really bad loss. It's always at the
Saints.
Superdome. Superdome, it's a rivalry game, super tough to play there. Even with everything, I thought we'd still lose that game. Now they're 2.5-point favorites. Like, I still got them. I picked them since week 1. I'm going to pick them now in week 12.
Fair enough. I think I'm also gonna take the Saints for the first time ever. It's weird, I know, but yeah, I don't have any faith in Raheem Morris. I'm surprised he
Wow.
hasn't. I'm surprised he hasn't been fired. Kirk Cousins, retire. Like, what are you still doing in the league? Like, honestly, go be with your family. Yeah, you're right. It's gonna come down to Bijan Robinson, but that Falcons defense is good. Let's not overlook that. It's not
True.
bad by any means, but streets are saying, at least from what I'm hearing, and from New Orleans fans, Tyler Schott might be their guy. They like him.
They do
So
like them.
I'm gonna pay a little more attention to the Saints probably this game and see what happens. But yeah, I think they win that at home especially, and then you'll be tied in the division. Who would have thought that?
I know. That's crazy.
In our last 4 o'clock game, Eagles at the Cowboys. Yeah.
Uh, I'll just take it before you take it.
Go for it.
I like the Eagles in this game. I think the Cowboys are really come down to earth, at least in their offense a little bit. But the Raiders last week, that's the Raiders. Kind of how it is. Yeah. I like the Eagles. They just get job done. They win games. That's how they do it. Give me the Eagles, especially because their defense has been up and up these past weeks.
Yeah. I'm taking the Eagles. I would not be surprised if they lost. Defensively, not really anything I can say. 16 points over 2 weeks from the Packers and the Lions. That's unheard of. Top 3 defense in the league easily. Vic Fangio's one of the best coordinators. I've said this last episode. I think he's the best defensive coordinator in the league over Steve Spagnuolo, but that's another discussion. Problem for me, and I know this Cowboys defense is bad, but this Eagles offense is not good, and it's not going to get any better. It's just I don't know what it is. If it's a mix of the quarterback philosophy from Jalen Hurts, if it's a mix that mixed with the coaching, mixed with just players' attitudes. I don't know what it is. Subpar O-line play. That could be a big reason why. I mean, Cam Jurgens has been out for most of the season, so interior offensive line play has just not been great, especially with Landon Dickerson getting that knee injury in a preseason game. I don't think he's ever played fully healthy this season, which sucks, but I think that's just how it's been. So, yeah, this Eagles offense is not what it was last year. That's just being honest. And you look at the Cowboys, they turned Michael Parsons into Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams in a first round pick. When you think about it, it's pretty stupid, but that's gonna be scary next week, especially with a banged up interior offensive line. I don't think Saquon Barkley. I don't think you'll see him do anything next game in the run game. Maybe he'll get a check down and do something cool, but that run game will not get started, I don't think, especially with the way the play calling's been going. So it's really going to come down to Jalen Hurts beating them with his dual threat play and putting the ball in the air, which we know he can do. Just depends on if his coaching staff wants to help him out. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not too worried about Dak Prescott and that whole offense scoring like 40 points like they're capable of. But they could score 21, and if our offense can't score 10, then we're not winning the game. So that's my whole thought on it.
I was just reading some stuff for the Eagles this week as you were talking. I just looked up Kevin Petula's name on Twitter. Read some funny responses. Kevin Petula is listed among top head coach candidates. This is an article from Bleeding Green Nation. And one of the comments is from an Eagles fan saying, to any prospective GMs, Kevin Petula has changed my life. He is the best football coach ever to touch a football field. Some call him a messiah of football. If you want him to succeed, please make him your next head coach. No, if another team hires him, we are screwed. This would be the worst thing ever. I hope he's not hired by an NFC team either.
Can he get hired by tomorrow? Like, seriously.
And then somebody made a FBI most wanted list, and Kevin Petula is right on there. So,
do you know how many rumors are swirling around about bringing in an offensive consultant? Doug Peterson might come back into the building to help fix this offense. Like, that's
pretty cool.
Yeah, but he's not an offensive guy. That's the whole reason he got fired. Yeah. Like, I love Doug Peterson. I would think it'd be cool to have him back in the building too, but this is what it's come to. Brian Daboll, I don't think he would because of the rivalry and all that.
He's a defensive guy as well.
He is but he used to be Jalen Hurts' play caller. That's the whole reason, though.
Where?
In Alabama.
Really?
Yeah. So there's some familiarity there.
Was he the Bills' offensive
coordinator? Yeah, he was the Bills' offensive coordinator.
Oh, I thought he was Bills' defensive coordinator.
Oh, shoot. My computer's going to die pretty soon.
All right,
so
let's finish this up then.
Rams, Bucks.
7-point spread. Rams at home. Bucks have been struggling the last couple weeks. Chris Scott went back, though. No Bucky Irvin.
Yeah, I think the Rams win this too at home. Yeah, Buccaneers have been banged up. It's going to be tough. Monday Night Football, we'll come back to that.
Now we have.
Let's do the fast.
Brought to you by no one. I am 6. You are 8.5 still.
Yep.
All right, my game. I was thinking about taking the Browns because I think they're going to win. However, I want a little more points. I did say it, but I'm going to take it back. I think I'm going to take the Buccaneers at 7-point dogs because they're still a good football team. They can bounce back from this, and if they win, that's 7 points to my name. So I'm going to take the Buccaneers on the road, get the job done so far when the home fans are always kind of out of it. Next.
Perfect. I don't have to take the Cardinals anymore because I'm going to take the Browns. Like I said, I think they have one of the best, if not the best, defensive lines in football. Raiders have the worst offensive line. You won't see Geno Smith under center once. Ashton Genty will finish with negative rushing yards. Browns win by 20.
There you go. All right. That'll be another episode of Nothing Green. Thank you all so much for listening. And who do you have as your dog of the day? And who do you have in division races? Do you have anybody else upsetting? Thank you all so much. And bienvenido a gusto e peace.